Okay, so with teaching down, just like I taught her to sit with luring with the food, I'm gonna do the same thing with down. So from a sit position, I take the food and kind of pull it straight down. What usually happens is the dog's trying to get the food and they don't know exactly what it is that I'm trying to get them to do. So when you get the dog into this position, perfect.
Good.
Sometimes they just kind of crouch there for a little bit, and that position gets a little bit tiring physically, so they eventually kind of like lay.
Right.
And then that's when you want to mark the behavior with the clicker and then give the food reward.
Aww.
So to do it again, I'm lure into the sit and then straight down under her nose, and then she just slides right into it and you click and treat. So I would do that, let's say like 10 or 15 repetitions, and then I can start pairing a verbal cue with it. And then I want to start to be able to use a verbal cue consistently, just like with sit before the behavior. So I would start, yes, beautiful, perfect. You can start saying it when the dog is going down while you're doing those, you know, like the set of 10. So it would be like this. When I see her sliding into it, like now, down, and then I would click and treat. So I don't want to say it unless I would be very certain that the dog is going to do the behavior. So I wouldn't just show her a treat and say it right now because she doesn't have a pairing of the word to the...
That makes sense.
So I would say it when I, like now, how she's sliding into the down, I would say it. She was.
And now she's
I'm going to wait for it. So down, and then I click and treat and open my hand. So it might be a little hard to see because she's so free, but what I'm doing is I'm holding the treat with kind of closed in my fingers, and I'm luring her. And as soon as she's in that position, I open it and give her the food. So wait to see that she's sliding into it, say the verbal cue, click, and give her the treat. And if she gets up, you just kind of reposition with the treat. Straight down. It's distracting, there's all these little crumbs on the ground. And then I'll give this over to you so you can practice it too. Down. Good girl. Perfect. So I would do that, you know, 10 more times. And then you can start to fade out using the treat. Also, something that a lot of people like to do is have a hand signal to go with your verbal cue because dogs typically respond really well to hand signals.
Oh, okay.
So what you could do for hand signal, for example, if this is down, what I'm going to start to do is build in the hand signal with the treat. So at first, the treat is here. Come here, come.
She's like, I'm getting ahead of you on this one.
So I'm holding the treat like this, and I'm starting to use that hand positioning. And then because my hands smell like treats, she's gonna follow it down. So even without the food there, I'll show you. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Yeah, so she'll follow my hand just the same way as if there was food because it smells like food. Click, which buys you time, and you give her the treat. Ideally for staying in this position. If not, you can just get her right back into it.
Okay.
But that way, you can start to fade out the treat so that this means down.
Right.
Now, because dogs don't generalize well, if I only do it with this positioning, and because she's so small and I'm closer to her eye level, it will be difficult for her to understand to do that if I'm standing up. So I want to start proofing the behavior, which means getting her to understand it means that no matter what, by maybe, you know, doing it from a little bit of a squat, doing it from a stand, and changing places and positions in the house so that she understands that it's the same thing no matter what. Come here, come here. So I'll do one more time and then I'll hand her off to you to practice. So it's just straight down, slides down. Good, perfect, beautiful. That was excellent.